Oops. Move this over here. Here. There we go. Yeah. I should check the audio. We'll leave it like that. There we go.
You throw yourself into the work of the Crusade. Is this how you grieve?
I don't follow you, I see.
It isn't your cause, friend. But everyone needs to believe in something.
I believe this armor needs repairing.
And that is enough. I will leave you to your work.
Hey Wraith, what's up? Assuming you can hear me. I've got kind of a weird microphone setup right now.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
I was trying to get the audio in a place so that you wouldn't hear me constantly clicking, at least quite as badly. I mean, Lord knows, you know, click, 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 click. It's kind of the nature of a Diablo, right? How'd it work out, Wraith? Or has it worked out yet? I guess this is probably a better question.
I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on.
Hey, 7th. No, no! Recognize 7th, it was highly say 7th, it was highly requested, and since PAX bought me the game, you know, figured I'd at least do something with it. Hey Yoga Frog, how you doing?
What skill should I master?
Oh, fine. This is in fact a Crusader, yes. If you can't recognize it, this is Act 1. I actually started a little bit earlier, trying to relax a bit. Fun fact, I feel miserable. It's almost as though streaming for 3 weeks actually wore me out. Go figure, huh? But yeah, I really wanted to try out Crusader. I don't have enough info to give a full, no really perspective on it yet, but of course I'm only level 12 at the moment. I like what I see so far. It's really strange because you don't really see much of a tank-type class in this game, you know? Usually they try so hard to make every given class be able to function completely on its own that the idea of having a class whose primary job is taunting, tanking, surviving, that kind of thing is almost an unusual thing. But at the same time, I kind of like that idea. And of course, anybody who knows me knows that I am the tank, so I'm totally cool with that. I can't, of course, say anything until I hit 60 or so, but at the moment I'm thinking this might actually replace my main, which at the moment is a wizard. Insert the Harry Potter joke if you will.
I enjoy that.
Up the mic or lower the gain. Can't lower... Okay, here's the problem with the mic, and I'll tell you exactly why you're not hearing the mic. I bet if I turned over to look at the mic here, it would actually be a lot clearer. Am I right? But yeah, I can lower the gain. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. See, the problem here is I didn't want the mic to be on my desk. Speaking from some experience, the mic has to basically not be on my desk when I'm playing a game. Otherwise, well, let's just say that it picks up my keyboard and my mic, or my mouse, excuse me, like they were the thunderous accord of a massive colossal elephant or something like that. So instead it's actually sitting over here. I could move it like this. That might be a little bit better. But that's about all I got. And of course that's moving it closer to the mouse too. So I don't know if that's bad. It's up to you guys. How's the clicking of the mouse here? I'm clicking excessively just to get across the point. I don't know if this is bad or not. I'm pretending I'm playing Torchlight for a moment. The main reason I had the audio at that point was so I could hear the dialogue, basically, because one of the things I'm doing is I'm actually not skipping cutscenes or any little vocal clips, because so far the Crusader actually has a fairly large amount of additional dialogue to say at virtually every point in the game, which I like. I like the fact that they actually bothered to not just, you know, insert, hey, in the normal stuff, but they actually have brand new dialogue going. So, in case you're wondering. And of course I'm just kind of taking my time so I could get used to the class. If you can't hear the clicking, we're good. So what are you up to, Yoga? Although it occurs to me, a frog that does yoga, that is certainly an interesting thing, isn't it? Not quite a frog of life, but still. By the way, yes, I know, for anybody who's watching this who's actually good at this game, yes, I'm kind of simplifying the gear at the moment, just because I'm level 13. So I don't care about actually maxing at the moment. I'll do that when I get higher level and actually start caring about gear with multiple suffixes and blah 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 blah. At the moment I'm basically just trying to max out my damage, and really nothing else. For those of you who haven't played Diablo 3 since they made it better, to simplify what they did. Yeah, let me demonstrate. As soon as I get through all this crap, which shouldn't take me long. Come on. So, as I was saying, they actually have 3 simplified stats called damage, toughness, and healing. Obviously, those are, well, like I said, they're simplified. It takes into account everything that increases your damage, which includes crit chance, haste, or rather attack speed, actual flat-out damage, and whatever your primary stat is. Toughness includes vitality, life, regen, or not regen, excuse me, armor, like 3 other things, dodge, block, that kind of a thing. And then healing, of course, takes in life per second, how much health per orbs, health per hit, that kind of a thing, right? And so it simplifies the stats, which actually makes it really nice if you just want to, on the fly, say, well, how's this piece of gear? And you can see right there, well, that's better damage, worse damage, better toughness, but worse healing. One other thing I like they did is you can hold down control and you can actually see where you are on the rolls, because if you don't know this, every piece of gear in Diablo 3 is rolled. See, that's 21 strength out of a range from 18 to 26, which means it's pretty good, but it's still kind of average. And, you know, that's 7% on a 6 to 8, so again, average, etc., etc.
Why is that?
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that a pure soul must burn within you.
Would the wings not give it away? I love the wings, by the way. That's actually a cosmetic thing, because, you know, pre-order bonus. But it looks so cool! What can I say? I've always had a thing for the wings from the Diablo series. Literally. I ever since I first saw him in Diablo 2, I was just like, yes! So actually having Imperius's wings here really seems to suit the Crusader well, what can I say? They got some good voice actors to do it, too. Gideon Emery is actually the male Crusader. I also have the Kerrigan wings from the Heart of the Swarm thing, but I kind of think these ones suit the Crusader better, personally. What else is I about to show off? Meh. I could try raising the difficulty 1 tick. I'm not exactly well geared, but at the same time, I'm just kind of crushing hard difficulty. What do you guys think? Should I try and go ahead and top it up 1 level difficulty? See how bad it is? I'll have to get to a next point here, but then I could try it. Which is another thing I like that they did, by the way. Instead of having, you know, the way they did it previously, it's more... Hell, I don't even know what to put it. I guess it's more like Torchlight, actually, to go ahead and just say it outright. Because, you know, there's no more blah difficulty Act 1, blah difficulty Act 2, it's just Act 1, and then you can go ahead and change the difficulty on the fly. However, unlike Torchlight, the difficulties actually do change your rewards, basically. The higher difficulty it is, the more item find you have, the more XP you have, the more gold you have, etc., etc. Alright, right before we do this relatively difficult thing, let's go ahead and up the difficulty. See how this works. This is so not going to work. Okay, hang on.
My power grows.
Yeah, let's go
I
down.
would have chosen the same.
Oh, what can we give you, my good man? Is that the only one I have? I guess that will do.
This will aid me.
And necklace, don't need those, don't need rings. Since I'm so low level, I don't bother selling anything because, frankly, they don't sell for crap. In case you're wondering why I'm just disenchanting everything.
I've got some of a right good bunch of things for you.
Basically, I only sell a couple of things to afford my repair bills, which are not exactly low. And of course, I got 12 million burning in the pocket there. Okay, so Let's go ahead and leave game. And let's see how we do on expert difficulty. I'm not going up to master. I guarantee you I can't take master. I'm still recovering, Sputnik. I think I'm either sick or having really bad allergy problems. I'm not really sure which, but I've been having issues. So I'm trying. I'm struggling. Wish I could sleep a little bit better. I'm just in too much pain to actually get a good night's rest, though. So I'm hoping I'll be in a slightly less pain today. Wait, no. There we go. I thought I got this already. Alright, here we go. Expert difficulty. Actually, given what I'm about to fight... Yeah, we'll leave the AoE on. I am so gonna die, you watch. By the way, this is totally what Guido should have. Guido. The wings, I mean. Well, the armor's not bad, too.
Keep your distance from it. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leon.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king. Even if you will not.
Hang on, I just realized something. Shift. Yeah, whatever. What can I say, Sky? The people demanded it, and also I didn't get done in time.
You dare to bring the warmth of life into my tomb?
Am I the only one who actually really likes Leoric's voice actor? He only has a few lines, but he puts a lot of emphasis behind him, and it really gets across the impact of it, and I like it. Come on. Okay, good. I got one before they really started to overwhelm me. Okay, those hurt a little bit more. Oh, I agree, Sputnik. And I don't mistake this for fanboyism, but I gotta say, one thing I've always liked about Blizzard games is they're usually very spot on with their voice acting. There are exceptions, of course, but I can point to like 90% of the voice acting in most Blizzard games and say, yep, that was good. Of course, that's a matter of opinion, but still. Yeah, look, jars. Alright, boss battle time. Let's go ahead and switch back to this.
Why is that?
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that a pure soul must burn within you.
Yeah, we'll leave that. And yeah, we'll put it back to that. Alright, wish me luck.
You will never defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
This was a request out of Menman. Also, the timing of it was too good to pass up, to be honest with you. Honestly, I was supposed to be done with the marathon Saturday, but I just took too long on FF7, 8, and 9. My own fault for not cheating. Hey, lightsaber. Alright. Let's do this. Trust me, no one is more amazed than I, Yoga Frog. Especially considering that I actually started the marathon with a severe head cold and a sore throat. It was so bad I actually had to be on hydrocodone in order to stream. Whoop whoop. I also like the Skeleton King's mace a lot. I would love to have a mace like that. I am one of the very few people, Sputnik, who actually likes Diablo 3. I know, it's crazy, right? Everyone seems to hate the crap out of it. But no, I really do genuinely like it. And I think it's gotten a lot better since release. When is the next FF Marathon? I played the 5th. Hey, Bregan. What's up? I mean, don't mistake me, the always online thing is stupid, the lack of LAN support is stupid, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a really good game, you know what I mean? You know how I will operate. Is it a good game? Yes. Okay then. Well, I haven't actually done any of the new stuff yet, Bragwin. I'm waiting for PAX to get on. But I've been enjoying Crusader quite a bit so far. It's kind of a weird tank class, which I know sounds weird to anybody who's actually played, you know, any Diablo game, let alone any roguelike, but there it is, I'm basically a tank. It works better than I thought it would. I gotta say, that 30% block chance is pretty nice. Oh, I really shouldn't have tanked that. Ah, whatever. I got this, I got this. Always leave the cooldowns for when you're stupid. So for anybody who's wondering, the way that Crusader works is pretty much the exact same way that Barbarian and Monk work. Is sort of. The only real difference is instead of rage draining a bit, like happens with a Barbarian, and instead of it's just kind of staying flat, like happens with a Monk. Rather, what ends up happening is it slowly generates on its own, just like it was mana, but everything you do, other than your big spenders, of course, generates it as well, very quickly. So it's kind of a weird mix between the mana systems of most of the other classes and the rage systems. It's a nice mix, though. It means that even if you're doing nothing, it'll slowly regen, and as long as you're actually actively in combat, you're pretty much guaranteed to have tons of resources. I really should not be tanking this. I don't want to die when he's at like 10 health. And dunk. Got him. Goodbye, Leoric. Rest in peace. Yeah, it's a decent example, Bragon.
The Shataroom high priests in Kurast proclaimed Leoric king of Kondurus many years ago. He ruled well until Diablo's influence drove him mad, and the loyal knight Lac Danan was forced to slay him. Afterward, Diablo himself raised Leoric from the dead as the Skeleton King, until the monarch's son, Aiden, vanquished him.
I'm liking it so far, Yodripple. I haven't actually done most of the new content yet, debatably. I mean, I'm playing a Crusader, obviously, to try it out. But I haven't done Act 5 yet, or Act 6, or whatever the hell it is. I haven't done Westmark yet, let's just call it that. But so far I'm really liking Crusader, and I'm really liking the little touches they added. It's mostly dialogue and lore tidbits, but you know I dig that kind of a thing. Probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone. Wait, Arsh actually likes lore? Craziness. Oops. Ugh. But, it occurred to me I've never actually done a lore run of Diablo. Although I'm debating if I even want to do one. Most people who know these games know the lore well enough that there's nothing really to add, you know?
The crater at last.
Hey, Soggy Waffles.
Falling star was a man. Interesting.
I remember falling.
Through several floors at least.
I am not your enemy. I think, yes, I believe I have come with a warning. The darkness. The darkness is coming. I must. I don't remember.
Be calm. Come with me.
That's pretty accurate, Bragan. Although my ship would be way better than the Falcon.
The fallen star was a man. Only a man. I begin to wonder if his fall is related to my crusade. I will take him to the old scholar. He may know.
Oh, sorry. That was Lobaka. Get back there, Lobaka. Yeesh. Can't go anywhere with that guy.
Cain, meet the falling star.
No man could survive such a thing. Who are you? What are you?
A warrior, I think. I came bearing grave news, but I cannot remember.
Your message might be all that can save us from impending doom.
Yes!
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. Hello. I think I just got auras. I did. Awesome. Because what would a paladin be without auras, right? But first, let's see what else we got here. Oh, nice. Yes, definitely. What else we got here? See you around, Spooknik. Have a good dinner. Interesting. So we've got an attack, a resistance, and a healing. Well, kind of a bubble, actually. Aura. And of course, we've got a horse. Of course, it only lasts 2 seconds. Ah, good. Excuse me. Besides Bragman, you know I'd prefer an actual, real battleship type ship. Maybe the Executor.
Tell me everything you remember, stranger. Every detail.
Falling. Fire. A sword of great power. It was part of me. But it shattered into 3 pieces as I fell.
It is vital that we find those pieces. I believe the sword made whole will restore your memory.
The goatmen are rampaging through the fields. Could the sword have anything to do with that?
Of course, of course. Just as the dead rose around the stranger, the sword pieces drove the goatmen to madness.
All goatmen are mad. They don't need a sword for that. But I will search their fields.
I love the dialogue of the Crusader so far, by the way. She's wonderfully British in her... just... in her... I don't even know what to call that. You know, the straight-faced, dry humor kind of a thing.
Do you remember anything besides falling?
Only that there were surges of light and a kind of pain.
So, nothing then.
The emptiness gnaws at me. It is a constant frustration.
You have nothing to believe in. The sword will help.
Typical response from a Crusader.
The Herodrim were powerful mages gathered together by the Archangel Tyrael to defeat the 3 prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal. They devoted themselves fully to the destruction of the demon lords and left behind valuable tomes and teachings.
How did you become the last of them?
My ancestor was the leader of the Herodrim, Jared Cain. when the Haradrim died out, their tones stayed in my family. I was thrilled by tales of the Haradrim as a little boy, but it wasn't until I returned to them as an adult that I realized they contained deeper truths.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, look, he's got one other thing to say.
Tyrion is the angel of justice. He has been helping mankind for generations, though he is forbidden to do so in any direct manner. Long ago, the high heavens and the burning hells made a pact as a result of the Sin War that they would not interfere in our world.
The demons broke this pact, yet Tyrael did nothing.
The Angelus Council, the archangels that lead heaven, almost destroyed our world once to keep the demons from spreading their corruption upon it. If Tyrael were to act directly, it would alert the council to the demons' activities here and imperil us all.
Yes, that's right. There's actually a fair amount of politics going on in Diablo 3's universe. Go figure.
I have some new items that I'm certain.
The attacks may be slowing down, but this town is done, and you know it. If we leave together, we might make it to order.
What we'll make is sport for the council. I'll stay here behind the gates, thank you.
So I suppose one question that deserves to be answered, because I've actually heard a few people ask about this, is...
I hear something stirring in the distance.
Is basically, why is it that all the dead started rising up around Tyrael based on the circumstance? Yeah, let's just make this quieter. The answer is actually very simple, and it kind of has to do with the way the setting works. So you have to understand that Tyrael's descension into mortality was not really something that was done normally or mundanely, and, well, I'm sorry, mundanely isn't the word. It wasn't done properly. There we go, that's a good way to put it. And so there are a few side effects. One of those side effects is that most of his, I guess the best way to put it is his focus upon the concept of justice was left within the shell of his body. Whereas, you know, the strength of justice, the ability to actually do something to enforce justice, was less within the sword, which is why he doesn't have any of his memories. Because for all intents and purposes, and I mean no pun by this, he's basically, like a, hell, I don't know, a shell, I guess is probably the best way to put it right now. I wouldn't call him quite a nobody, but he's close. And so all these dead have risen up purely because of the fact that all these people died in unjust ways. Now, that's only going to invoke one of two responses in you. Either, well, duh, or quiet horror at the thought of how many people died in unjust ways within this area, because it's kind of terrifying when you really think about it. I want to check something real quick here. Highlands Cave and the Lyceum, and the Abandoned Servant House. Yeah, I know, Dexron. A lot of this game is explained in the game, and I've had a lot of people come back and say, hey, what the hell? Why are you so stupid? Well, that's not what they said, but the basic gist of it is I've had a lot of people come and basically say that this game doesn't make sense, or that the plot has tons of holes, or whatever, when it doesn't. And, well, I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't, but every single complaint or thing that I have heard put towards it is wrong, basically. Provably wrong within the game itself. And what do you mean, Agamemnon? I mean, I guess I'm quiet because... well, okay. The reason I'm quiet is because my mic's over there, and you could probably tell now that I'm actually looking at the mic, which is, you know, way over here, that it sounds different. But, as I've experienced in the past, like, for example, when I record Oblivion, it's best for me to go ahead and put the mic over there rather than put it on the desk, because if it's on the desk, you will hear my key clicks and my usage of the mouse, like the thundering rumbles of death itself upon your land, so... don't have a lot of options for still having the microphone and still functioning here. And by the way, hi, Javan. I don't actually remember if I said it or not, but I meant it, whether I said it or not. Let's gather up lots of stuff. Another question I get so often is why do the angels bicker amongst themselves? Which is actually also kind of a silly question, but again, some people don't actually, know the history of the lore or anything like that. The point is, the angels don't actually have... This is kind of a funny thing, because we were just talking about this in FF13, weren't we? They don't really have freedom of will, not in the strictest sense of the word. They are restricted to only being able to follow whatever it is that they are built around. I don't want to say built, because they're not machines, but you get the point. Each angel has a mentality, and they are restricted to that mentality. They can only function within that mentality, if that makes any better sense. And the funny thing is, the demons have the exact same problem. In fact, it's one of the reasons why both sides haven't won this war in absolutely forever. And why both times the war almost stopped, it was because of human intervention. Because the difference between humans and, demons and angels is humans have freedom of will. They can choose good, bad, in between, doesn't matter. They can do whatever. Yeah, it also sounds a little bit similar to Mass Effect, if you're paying attention, too. Seems to be a common thing in fiction. Humans are special. I don't mind it, it's just an interesting thing, because one of the reasons that exists is the idea that... It's not just necessarily, oh, humans are great, kind of a self-congratulatory propaganda type thing. It's also because the fact that in most fiction, science or fantasy, they want to differentiate humans in some way from all the other races, and they always give all these other races these wonderful things, prolonged life, or magical abilities, or, the ability to function underwater without breathing, or, just whatever, they give them stuff, so they have to give humans something. And quite some time ago, they got to the point where they were like, okay, look, we need to come up with something for the frickin' humans. So it just kind of became the consensus to go ahead and make humans, special. They were the ones who can do stuff, choose stuff. They weren't super strong or super amazing. They just had the ability to do whatever. Hell, look at D&D, for God's sakes. Now, with regards to Imperius actually makes more sense to me than he probably should. I probably shouldn't even admit that out loud, because then people are going to be like, I always knew you were an evil bastard, Arsh. And then I'll have to kill them for saying that, and then someone will see me killing them, and it'll just be this non-ending cycle. So we'll just go ahead and say that Imperius's actions make a lot of sense to me under the concept of valor, because valor does not really mean anything good when you actually think about it. It's just, hey, I am valorous. I'm going to be fighting forever, regardless of circumstances. In fact, if you really consider it valor without any other positive or negative connotations attached to it, it explains Imperius quite well. In fact, it also probably explains at least a little bit one of the reasons why he likes to, fight amongst his own people, more than not. And why his solutions to a problem are always violent ones. Seventh, I don't actually know how to soft reset a game. However, you can just go ahead and go to the home menu and, hit close program and then start it up again. I'm curious why you needed to... Oh, let me guess, you're farming something. Okay, this hurts. Right, I'm on higher difficulty. Keep forgetting that. Hey, Permeus. What's up? Soggy, I don't watch Game of Thrones, sorry. So I suppose that is a no. Hell, even if I did, I don't have the ability to. Well, I guess that might not be true, but I don't have television or anything like that. But it's probably online somewhere. Hulu, maybe? I don't know. Exactly, Dextron. See, like I said, Diablo 3 does explain itself pretty well. It's just I feel like most people either don't pay attention. Well, I shouldn't say that. Most of the people I've heard saying complaints about this game are the people I would call stupid. In other words, people who don't have a legitimate complaint about the game. I have seen a few legitimate complaints about the game, and there are plenty of legitimate complaints about the game, but most people who whine and complain are just like, oh my god, it's stupid. Which isn't really an argument. At least not where I'm coming from. Now, one of the things I liked, though, is when Hope, what's her name, Ariel, was captured, and deferring that, it's just for that one quest while Hope is captured, but every single NPC you can talk to, all of them, says something different while Hope is gone from the world. And I kind of liked that little touch, because it emphasizes, too, the fact that the angels also have just as much of an impact on humankind's emotional spectrum, I guess is the way to put it, as the demons do. Possibly more, I might add, but whatever. That's debatable. I could go into all sorts of theory crafting about the ways the conduits work between the angels, the demons, and the humans. Honestly, though, that's all theory crafting, at least at the moment. Oh, I know, Dextron, that would be terrible. And you know what's horrible is no matter what you do, no matter what you think of for your, focus or mentality or whatever you want to call it, there's almost no good option there, you know what I mean? Even if you pick something like, well, like Valor, actually, that's a pretty good example, or Justice, or Hope, that's still something not only you're bound to forever, but it's also something you cannot stray from at any point in time, and it's something that most, the more you think about it, the more ways there are for that to end up being a bad thing, especially if you live forever. Hello? So, in Diablo 3 now, legendaries are pretty obvious here, with a nice beacon of orange awesome. Let's see what we got here. So, actually, another fun fact. Legendaries, they roll the stats for it when you identify it, not when you loot it. Which may or may not mean anything to you, but for example, if I had found this on another character, and by the way, they're account bound, that's kind of important too. But if I had found this on another character, I can toss it to, for example, my monk, and then identify it on my monk, and then it'll be rolled for monk stats rather than Crusader stats. That being said, I'm pretty much pushing my Crusader now, so we're gonna go ahead and identify this on the Crusader. And whatever it is, it's gonna be awesome. What do we got here? Strength, vitality. That's a pretty good one, especially for level 14. It's a quote from Covetous Shen. I could not believe my own good fortune from the moment I found the ring abandoned in the forest trail until the time it was stolen from my quarters in Chaldeum. I like Covetous Shen. Of course, I like most of the characters in this game. Hey, Goleth. What's up? I should probably change that, actually. Since I'm in my AoE setup here. Let's go ahead and do this. So this is a weird game, because I've actually sped-run several Diablos, including 3. But I prefer not to, as weird as that sounds. I actually really enjoy taking my time in these games. I'm feeling terrible, Goleth, to be completely honest with you. But there's only so much you can do, I'm not complaining, though. It's just being honest. Alright. Junk. Nah. What else we got? Is that it? Oh, nope. So, Permeus, that's an interesting question, because really, when I think about it, Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 really do feel like very different games, but I don't actually mean that in a bad way. I refuse to say one is better than the other because of how different they are, but that being said, I've replayed Diablo 2 a lot, but it was only ever fun with friends. Now, Diablo 3 is certainly a lot of fun to the group. In fact, I can't wait to play with Pax whenever he wakes up this evening. But that being said, I can enjoy Diablo 3 by myself, and that is a huge difference for me personally. I never liked playing Diablo 2 by myself. Never really caught on for me. And one of the things, too, I like about Diablo 3 is their approach to the story and the setting. They do more to flesh out the world and the story than Diablo 2 did. Most of the things we got in Diablo 2 were the little conversations in town, and then the cutscenes. And that was basically it. I don't mean the cinematic cutscenes. I mean, you know, the we're talking cutscenes on quests, right? That being said, Diablo 3 is infinitely superior to Diablo 2 in one thing, and that's the truly infinite New Game Plus model, which I've talked about in my rumination, and honestly is literally the perfect form of New Game Plus. It's hard to come up with another form of New Game Plus that would be superior to this. It is literally, I can choose at any point in time in the quest to hop back to and keep all of my stats and all of my everything. And now that they've updated to 2.0, you can actually set the difficulty on the fly as well. Oh, and by the way, you can also get to the point where anything previous to you can scale to your level. So you can go through the Act 1 at level 60 and still have it be a challenge, and whatever level of challenge you want it to be. And in fact, it will still be profitable, which is the other thing. I like that a lot. I like the fact that I don't waste my time going through Act 2. Not that I would have to. Shut up. Because, you know, my level 60 could go through Act 1 and get the same basic level of gear as he could anywhere else, because it's based on the enemy type and the random loot gen, not which act I'm in. And that's just awesome. Anyway, so what are we going to give him? So yeah, the long and the short of it is I have a lot of positive things to say about this game, and I really enjoy playing it and replaying it. Yeah, let's go that one. And of course, I love the voice acting, but that was true in Diablo 2 as well, so that's nothing new. Actually, that is pretty good. We'll go ahead and switch to that. What do you got over here? Justice. Oh, it's a projectile. Oh my god, it looks just like flinging Mjolnir in friggin' Thor. Look at it, look at it. Yeah. Of course, that's not enough. I'm gonna stick with Smite for this. Although, what do we got here? Yeah, we'll stick with the AoE. Yeah, sure. That's a good one. And of course, I could say other good things about Diablo 3, like the fact that you can respec literally at will, but that's always been true. Although it's slightly different than it was before, in a good way, I mean. Oh, I'm actually having latency. That's weird. Right. Join us, Braven. Give in to the Diablo side of the force of awesome. Not that I don't have complaints about the game. One thing that all Blizzard games irritate the crap out of me on is I really wish they would separate the audio between voice acting and everything else. It would be nice, especially in WoW, to be able to listen to the voice acting of the bosses and my characters and all that stuff, and not constantly hear, you know, from the combat. In Diablo 3, well, hang on, let me find this den, and I will just show you all of them, Burmius, just for you. We're just gonna ignore mobs for a bit. Of course, there's the Crusader. It doesn't involve too much clicking. You can pretty much hold down left click, which is what I'm doing right now, for instance. Not just to move, but, you know... Left click is pretty much going to be... Well, okay, it's... you can actually rechange it. You can make it so that left click is whatever, right click is whatever, and 1, 2, 3, 4 are whatever. That's an option in the game to rebind it however you'd like. But the point is, you've got your resource generators, which is my left click in the moment, your resource spenders, which is right click, and then cooldowns. 1 is a live cooldown at the moment, 2 is a resource generating cooldown again at the moment, and 3 is a DPS cooldown. But all of those can be swapped pretty much on the fly. In fact, I can stop right now and swap my skills. Well, hang on, you can't do it in combat now. That's actually kind of a nice little feature. Hang on. I've had a lot of things on my... So as I was saying, you could be like, "Whatcha, and I want to do this now," and then "Whatcha, now I want to do this," you know. Okay, if I could find this place, I must find the place. Now, Javan, I know you and I don't agree on a lot of things. For example, you hate Mystic Quest because you know you have no taste in awesome games, and I also know you hate Gilgamesh. But I'm willing to forgive those. Because I'm one of those really, really weird people who really liked Diablo 3 when it came out. And then they kept improving it. And then it got better. So, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by playable. You're going to have to define it for me, man. Now, of course, I do know the one truly negative thing about this game, the one thing that I genuinely think is a negative, even if it doesn't affect me personally in my enjoyment of it, and that is the online requirement. I still disagree with that. There's nothing else for that. But what do you mean, so I can answer your question? Oop, oop. Crafting materials. Yeah. Javan actually hates Soje, rather. Actually hates Gilgamesh, which is really weird, but you know, whatever, I'm not here to judge. But yeah, the auction house is gone. It is officially offline as of now. You can still get some stuff off of it if you already had auctions pending, but that's it. Crap, I didn't even see that guy. Anyways, it is worth noting that the auction house was something that even the developers agree was a bad idea. I agree too. But the reason it was a bad idea is something most people don't seem to understand. The reason it was a bad idea was they had designed the loot drop system around the idea that the auction house existed. And honestly, you probably know enough about game design to already know what that means, but the new loot system is designed around the system that has no auction house, because there is none. So, yeah, I'd say that is definitely a huge improvement. But yeah, it's... in fact, the loot in general is improved, and also they added a new system. I forget what they call it, but basically it will check your class when it does the roll for the item and say, oh, you're a this, here's a this, because this benefits you more than other stuff. So, I don't know if you played Diablo 3 before, but one of the things that did kind of get bleh was the fact that you get tons of gear that you could never use. Now, that was on the one hand, some people liked that because you could go ahead and toss stuff at alts, but on the other hand, your odds of getting stuff for yourself was somewhat less.
My land is saved. Bless you. Tristram's families will not starve thanks to the work we have done today.
I am right. Okay, now we're gonna go find this place, I swear, Permius. Assuming it's here to be found. That's true. Oh, chicken coop! Die! Yes, that was a blood spurt at the chicken coop. I'll let you think about it. Yeah. Jesus, way too much. I need to remember that I'm actually on a higher difficulty here. Now, I can't say how good Reaper of Souls is yet specifically because all I've done is played the Crusader, which is, you know, pretty awesome, admittedly, but I have no idea about the new content yet. So, no comment on that yet. Good lord. Fun fact about Diablo 3, this is true in WoW, too. Standing and stuff is bad. Really bad. Don't stand in the fire, don't stand in the poison, don't stand in the lightning, don't stand in the toxic goop crap that you probably haven't seen yet, but yeah. Jeez Louise, you guys gonna stop aggroing me yet? Okay, so... Oh god, I got tons of places I haven't explored yet. Damn it, Permius. Hang on. Actually, let's go ahead and... No, there it is. Yes, that's right, I have a mount now in Diablo 3. For 2 seconds. Oh yeah, don't stand in the ice balls, that's another good one. Yeah, they kind of added rest state now, by the way. It's not actually rest state, but it in every mechanical way it functions like rest state. But the way you get it is by either killing enemies that drop those little golden orb things, or you can get it from those pools, like the one I just did. One thing I have not been able to verify is if you can actually get rest state from, you know, being offline, like you can in every other game that rest state exists. Oh, here we go. There's the checkpoint I wanted. Okay. So, here's the classes, Permius. That was Crusader. Like I said, resource builders, resource spenders. It's very tank heavy. I haven't been clicking a lot. In fact, I've been clicking probably the least of all my various classes. I only have three other characters that are significant. There's my Barb. Now, a Barbarian is a little more click heavy. So, this might not be your thing. But you can set it up not to be, it's just kind of weird. In fact, I think I have a not click heavy setup right now. Wait, what's going on?
Diablo was defeated. For a time it seemed we would know peace.
Oh, this is the Reaper of Souls intro.
But it was not to be. For Diablo's essence lingers in the black soul stone. I cannot...
Well, let's go ahead and skip through this. Just in case. I don't want to spoil anything for it. But yeah, no, I'm not. I don't want to start Act 5! I don't... Oh, crap. I actually did select Act 5, didn't I? Crap. I really didn't mean to do that. Like, I genuinely didn't. I meant to go back to where I actually was with him, which was Act 2. Let's fix that really quick. Act 2. This is what I mean by the super New Game Plus, by the way. And, no, not that one. No, not that one. No, it is this one. Okay. And then, bam! We're suddenly in Act 2. So, this is how I have my Barbarian set up. Let's go and get rid of those. those. They don't really suit him that well. Basic attack. You can just hold it down. I like to use Frenzy because it increases my attack speed and my attack damage. Pretty much all of these are cooldowns. Buff, also a buff. The number 1 is a cooldown, number 4 is a cooldown, and number 3 is my Fury Spender, which does this. It's pretty much just a boss cracker. Now, if you don't want to do that kind of a thing, you completely set yourself up differently. Hang on. Actually, no, that is what I want. By doing something like this instead. Yeah, it was a pre-order thing. PAX bought this for me like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. It was during the marathon. Okay. Oh, and by the way, another thing I like about this, as with everything, the story and the lore are optional. So if you don't feel like re-listening to everyone, bam, you could just blaze right through it without meaning to. It's the equivalent of the skip cutscenes option, which, again, every RPG should have. Oh, we need to check the die merchant really quick. Ooh, several dies. I think I'm missing some of those. Hang on. Oh, where's the die thing? I think it's here. Yeah, right. Let's see. Abyssal, Golden, and Purity. Oh, awesome. Now I'm just missing one. Oh yeah, by the way, they have dies that work pretty much exactly like you'd think. It's pretty much straight out of Guild Wars, basically. Okay. Sorry, moving on.
The conditions out here are deplorable. Something must be done to aid these people.
Ashira, the Emperor and...
Let them pass. We will die out here.
I swear I'll get into combat in a minute.
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace. You are bold to have something.
Oh my god. Things! Buff, 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 buff. And then you just kind of hold down right mouse and spin around destroying everything. I call this my Volcano of Death build. It basically takes all these abilities to really pull it off, but as you can see, it's pretty nice.
Get out of here. I will cover your escape.
Thank you. Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get
there. Oh crap, I hate these guys. Who doesn't hate the lightning generators? Seriously, they don't actually do anything. They just sit there, channeling lightning for forever on your face. So yeah, that's kind of Barbarian. Now Barbarian can do all sorts of things, but Barbarian is a pretty click-heavy class, so we'll go ahead and... Well, actually, we'll just do this. Now, Wizard... Wizard's kind of weird, because... Well, let's just say Wizard actually has a talent called Glass Cannon and leave it at that. My Wizard is currently, I guess, my main. Alright, hang on, we gotta not start Act 5. I don't know, let's just go back to Act 1. And why am I on hard difficulty? I should be on Torment. Torment 3, I believe. There we go. You are so weird, Braquin. I see that and I see a volcano. You see that and you see salsa. I got nothing, man. Okay, so Wizard... Now, here's the problem. Permeus. Virtually all these classes can be set up in, like... God, I don't even know. Many different builds and ways and styles. Again, kind of like Guild Wars. If you ever played Guild Wars 1, specifically, not Guild Wars 2. But, that being said... This is their basic, you know... Basic kind of one attack here that I've got set up. Right click is usually something that's like this. You know, here's this blizzard here, for example.
I am hungry. Do you have any lettuce, bread, and sweet wine?
That does sound good, doesn't it?
Well, it was worth a try.
Anyways, Wizard's kind of cool because they only have 100 resource, but they regenerate it very quickly. So I can empty my resources bar here, and it'll regenerate within a matter of seconds. Now, of course, you can also do all sorts of other things. For example, wizards get all the hydras, which are exactly what they sound like. They're not quite pets. It'd probably be more accurate to call them totems. They just sit there and do various things depending on the type of totem. And, of course, Meteor, which is basically my heavy hitter, and lots of buffs, which is what I have set up. But there's lots of different other things. Like, for example, you've got your basic attacks. You can just fling a missile. You can shoot lightning on the ground. You can slice in front of you. You can electrocute anything in kind of a chain lightning kind of way. All of this stuff you can hold down. Here, Ray of Frost is kind of a favorite. Hang on, let me find a good one here. This is my favorite Ray of Frost, by the way. Instead of actually being a Ray of Frost, it's a freaking, an aura of frost, or whatever you want to call that. Let's see, where's another good one? And this is what Ray of Frost normally looks like. And of course, everyone's favorite, Disintegrate. I actually had an entire build back in standard Diablo 3. I haven't actually tried it yet since, but it was pretty much designed fully around Disintegrate. And like nothing else. Just Disintegrate. Everything else was based off of making Disintegrate better. That being said, if you're... I used to do this, I think. No, that's not it. Hang on. Is this it? This is it. This, which does a ton of damage in a cone. But of course I had to stop doing that once I hit Inferno or whatever the old highest difficulty was, because anything could one-shot you in that difficulty, so, being this close to the enemy usually meant dying. Hang on, Dextron. I'm not even sure if it exists anymore. Actually, I think it is Chaos Nexus, because I just wasn't near any enemies. Here, I'll demonstrate. See? It just kind of zaps him while I'm shooting it the other way. I really like the new setup, by the way, for Wizards, because you can pretty much fully set up a Frost build, a Fire build, or an Arcane build. Or you can mix and match. Mine is actually basically a Frost Fire build, and all the fire damage I do dots everything, and all the frost damage I do either automatically slows, makes them take more damage, and has a chance to freeze them. Now it could be even better if I went full tilt into Frost or Fire, but whatever. Let's go back to this. There we go. Yep, there we go. So anyways, that's Wizard. Not really much else to show off there. It's an awesome class with lots of different variety in how you can play it. Now, the other three classes I don't know quite as well, personally. My Monk is only level 20. My Demon Hunter's only level 10, and my Witch Doctor will never be leveled because he's gross. So we'll start with him. Now you might be saying, Arsh, what do you mean he's gross? Well, you're just, a terrible person. Well, no. I mean he's gross. Okay, so... Witch Doctor can be a very heavy pet class. In fact, you can pretty much set yourself up fully to just be a pet class. Those are zombie dogs. You can set them up to poison enemies, you can set them to explode when they hit things, that kind of a thing. That is exactly what it looks like, the hands of the dead reaching out to grasp things, and of course, shooting poison darts at people. But that's not the horrible part. No, this is. Allow me to demonstrate. That is a jar of spiders. That is my default attack. Now, back in original Diablo 3, there was a build specifically designed around just smashing, setting up, setting up spiders purely for the sake of, mashing and mashing and mashing, and the spiders would spawn more spiders, they would poison, and they would be able to jump, so they would have tons of range. Now, the Witch Doctor is a little bit different than all the other classes, because, here, let me try and demonstrate.
Needs more time.
Well, okay, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate at level 1 or 5 or whatever the hell I am, apparently. But yeah, they have 750 mana. In other words, they have a fairly large mana pool, but it regenerates much more slowly. Or if you're paying attention in game terms, that means they're more bursty because they can just unload all of their stuff right up front, but then they've got to recoup for a bit because they've got to regenerate. Now there's builds that are specifically set up around regenerating quicker, and Witch Doctors also use gold pickup range better than most of the other classes do. So you can do a lot with Witch Doctor, and it would probably be a really fun class if not for the frickin' spiders or the corpse bears. I can't even show you the corpse bears, can I? No, I can't. I don't even have it. There's another ability called Corpse Bears. I'm not actually sure what it's actually called, but it might as well be Corpse Bears. And you summon bear corpses that lunge at the enemy and then turn into, they just kind of disintegrate. They don't explode. They just kind of fall to pieces as they run into the enemy, and it's incredibly gross. By the way, this is me channeling bats, and as they can't channel through me, I'm actually setting them on fire. Now, if you can ignore the aesthetic of the Witch Doctor, it is an incredibly versatile class, but ugh. So, yeah, that's the Witch Doctor. And that's why my Witch Doctor is level 5. Right. Now, Demon Hunter's a little bit more interesting, and probably the funnest in terms of pure mechanics to play, I think. Demon Hunter, well, I'd say it's a ranged class, but that doesn't mean much in this game, especially if you're playing solo. The point is, Demon Hunters, you notice they actually have 2 resources, Hatred and Discipline. Now, Hatred regenerates very quickly. Discipline does not, so... Now, of course, you still have your basic attack. But, for example, that's my machine gun. Now, it sucks my Hatred up pretty quickly, but notice how quickly the Hatred's coming back, too. Now, the thing is, pretty much all of your offensive abilities are going to be using up Hatred, whereas all of your, your traps, your avoidance, your utility abilities are going to use up Discipline. So you got to be a little bit more careful about using your Discipline, but you can pretty much spam. Well, you can't spam, but you can use your offensive abilities. And again, Demon Hunter. I know I've said this like 3 times, but Demon Hunter is quite versatile. There's quite a lot you can do with Demon Hunter. It's actually a lot of fun. I actually do want to level my Demon Hunter later. I don't have anything else to add there, sorry. Finally, we have the Monk, which is the one I was actually building up to be my new main until I got distracted by Barbarian. It's actually kind of a long story. Well, it's not a long story, but it's a story. What happened was a friend of a friend was playing, and he got a bunch of Lobby gear. For those of you who don't know, in Diablo 3, one of the suffixes you can get on gear is lowers level requirements by blank. And he got a lot of level 60 gear that had lower requirements by like 20. So in other words, you could have level 60 gear at level 40. And if that doesn't sound amazing, you don't understand how significant that was. So I ended up pushing my Barbarian because it was all strength gear, specifically so I could use all that gear. And then I ended up being a death machine from 40 to like 50, or 55 or so. So I never actually got back to my Monk, which is a pity. Because my Monk is actually pretty awesome, and does have a legendary too, a really nice one. Now, Monks are really, really, really nice. Monks are pretty much your honestly, I'm just going to call them monks, and I hate to say that, but, take any monk from any game ever, add a little bit of a rogue in there from, like, WoW or, like, D&D, and you've pretty much got monk. They have a lot of ability to live in close combat with things. They have tons of damaging abilities that allow them to do combos. They can move very, very quickly, like that, or indeed like that.
What you ask is impossible.
They have really nice abilities that do different damage based on what kind of enemies you're fighting. And that's probably the thing that's most interesting about Monk to me, is that what they can do depends on where you're at and what you're facing. There is one thing that's interesting to keep in mind about Monk. Their resource generates incredibly slowly by itself. In fact, I think the only reason it's generating at all by itself is I have gear that makes it. Otherwise, it would just sit. The only way you can generate spirit, which is their resource, is by using abilities. And those don't generate too fast. By the way, I think this is my personal favorite pick for the Kerrigan wings, is the monk female, because it works really well with her animations and her pose and her general type. And yeah, that's another pre-order bonus. But they move really well with her, which is why I keep them on her. See? Anyways, and of course monks not only have a ridiculous amount of dodge, they have auras, which are kind of weird. The way auras work on monk is different than auras on Crusader, because they're passive, right? But as soon as you use the active ability is better, right? But it as soon as you use the active ability, the passive like stops functioning, kind of. Or oh no, I'm saying this wrong. Okay. I'm saying this wrong. The point is, the passive and the active can stack with a monk. So, you know, it costs a crap ton of resources, but bam, I now have a huge evasion chance, and so do all my my people with me. And of course, they have a heal that's like one of the only classes. In fact, I'm not actually 100% sure on this, but it's the only class I know that has a genuine 1% 1-to-1 just a heal. Of course, the heal also does damage, but that's glyphs. And that's all the classes. Any questions?
Cain, your death will be avenged.
Also, the monk has an awesome voice actress. Just saying. They weren't out yet. By the way, in case you can't tell, because it's probably hard to tell, the default attack I have for her, I use it because it is actually basically a teleporting punch. Here, I'll try and demonstrate. Boink! Okay, that hurts. Now, monks are not quite as good of a tanks as they used to be. Back before 2.0, monks could actually be really, really broken with basically life on hit or life drain and a huge amount of attack haste. All of that has been nerfed, but it's worth noting that monks can still do, not only live really well, but do a ton of damage.
He has forsaken heaven to aid us.
I know a lot of people who picked up Monk again after the big patch change in preparatory for Reaper, and were disappointed at first, but they got a completely new set of gear within, I don't know, like half an hour because of the new gear system, and adapted pretty quickly, and I actually don't know anyone personally who doesn't like the new changes to Monk, so shrug.
I need to go back.
Let's go ahead and find this place really quick. The long and the short of it is, I do genuinely recommend this game if you like roguelikes. It's got a lot of things to enjoy about it, and all but one of my complaints about the game have now been fixed. Yeah, exactly, Permeus. Monks were literally invincible at one point in time, and that was kind of the problem. They're not unkillable anymore, but they're still awesome. Oh, let's talk about one other change that I really like. So, originally, if you're remembering, Diablo 3 had, you know, tons upon tons of different levels of potions, basically, and as you went through the game and fought higher stuff, you get better potions. In other words, pretty much just exactly like Diablo 2, right? Well, here, I'll just... Now there's just potion. Potions restore a % of life. Period. Now, they're actually pretty rare in loot. That 37 is all I've gotten in all 20 levels. But... you can just buy potions now for 500 gold, which is awesome. It's just a 30-second cooldown, and it's 60% life, and they're vendorable for they're vendor purchasable, excuse me, for virtually nothing. And I am hugely in favor of that change. And so, yeah, that's just really, really awesome, I think. It was actually funny though, because I used to hoard potions. So when I hopped on my Barbarian, I suddenly had like 200 potions, because it squashed them all into the one new potion. So all of a sudden, yeah, I haven't had to buy potions on my Barbarian yet for some reason. Now, crafting has been improved a bit too. I don't know all the details of how, but I do know it not only has been improved, but I've seen for myself some of the nice stuff it can make. It works like this. Now I'm kind of... I'm already kind of leveled on my guy. The only thing I haven't trained on him is the new stuff in Reaper, which I have to go do Reaper to do, so, you know, shrug. But, as you can see, you can set it up to highest usable, so it'll filter out the low stuff that you don't actually care about, but it won't show any of the stuff you can craft that you can't equip yet. Or you can just show all the stuff you have materials for, which, as you can see, is a huge list. Or anything you can equip at all, which is all nice stuff. The crafting materials are kind of new. Exquisite Essence and Iridescent Tears can be drops, but basically they are primarily a disenchant thing, which I showed off earlier. Common Debris, this stuff is kind of irritating to come by, but you can get it off. I think, you know, I just had a thought. Oh my god. I literally just had a thought, and I have to go test this theory now. And yes, monks can wear armor, as you can see. Oh, speaking of which, the armor... This is kind of weird to explain, but you see this piece of armor right here? You can see what it looks like on me, right? If I were to take that armor off and put it on my Barbarian, it would look different. Because each piece of armor has a type of appearance that is specific to a class, even if it's the same piece of armor, if you understand what I'm saying. And I actually really like that. But it also means that there's a decent variety in the appearance of armor you'll get, and generally you'll tend to see the same types of armor in terms of appearance based on your level range. You know, as you get higher level, you'll see armor that looks different, and you know, etc. And the same in reverse. Excuse me.
Your flaws are revealed.
And of course, I love her accent, so don't make fun. Okay, you can make fun, I'm kidding. Anyway, so you can craft stuff with all sorts of stuff, but I think I just realized something about the crafting system, and I need to test it. Speaking of things they added, let's go and talk about one other thing they added. The Paragon system. These stuff, right? Now, once you hit max level, you start getting Paragon levels instead of, you know, levels, right? Now, that's been in place for a while, but they kind of squashed it. See, the thing is, your Paragon levels are account-wide now, rather than character-wide. So I have 8 Paragon levels because of the fact that my max level character, you know, got 8 Paragon levels. I didn't actually level that much, obviously. Now, you get so many points in each thing. It goes evenly. You'll get 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, and then it'll cycle back around. So 4, 8, 12, 16, etc., right? And you can put those points into these different things. What these are change based on the class. For a monk, I can increase my dexterity, vitality, movement speed, or spirit, attack speed, cooldown reduction, crit chance, crit hit chance, or crit damage and crit chance, excuse me, life, armor, resist all, life, regen, area damage, resource cost, life on hit, and gold find. Now, that's kind of cool. What's even cooler is you can reset it at will. Wait, no, I changed my mind. Nope, changed my mind again. It's literally instantaneous and free to swap these points out per character. And as you can tell, it's per account, so even my level 20 here, or my level 5 Witch Doctors still have these same talent points. Now the catch is each talent point doesn't add up to much. As you can see, it's only 1% increased damage per point, or 0.2 reduction per point. But the fact that you can get hundreds of these points, and you will get hundreds of these points as long as you play this game, really offsets that, I think. Speaking of which, what I actually want that to be is life on hit for her. Dextron, I'm an idiot. What does BAMF stand for?
If you become thirsty, I can conjure up some water for you.
That's a WoW joke, by the way. the water conjuring. Never mind. Okay, so, where the hell? Ruins. Why? There we go. Isle Cavern is all I'm missing in this one. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I'd totally go with that. Tyrael's freaking awesome. And damn it, Fitzcott, I literally just finished talking for like the last half hour about how much better this is and all the things they've improved in this game from, you know, when it came out. Hell, you don't even need a Reaper to actually enjoy all these benefits. That's just the new content and the new story and the continuation of it. One thing I do like about Diablo 3, the story is very central to it. And I say that because in Diablo 2, the story was there, but that really wasn't the point, if you know what I mean. The story was certainly enjoyable, but it was basically something that was ancillary to the, you know, the dungeon crawl. In Diablo 3, the dungeon crawl is certainly enjoyable, but there's such a heavy story focus and character focus that it's like, yes! You know, I had to struggle so hard not to do the new content, to wait for PAX, who bought me the game, by the way, so I definitely owe the guy. But I had to wait for him because I really, you know, well, obvious reasons. But oh god, I want so badly to find out what happens next. I literally don't have anywhere to really put that. They ended Diablo 3 on such a cliffhanger, with like 5 plot threads that were just dangling there waiting to be resolved, and I'm just like, I want to know what happens to this scoundrel with the woman he loved and his brother, and I want to know what happened with the Crusader and what happens when he goes back and actually confronts his order, and I want to know what happens to, oh god, explosion, and I want to know how it happens to, you know, I want to know what happens with Covetous Shen and find out if he ever actually finds that damn gem, and so forth and so on. You get the idea. So, I'm really looking forward to actually seeing the new content. And PAX actually is the one who postulated the idea of me streaming it, so I'll probably do that whenever it gets on. Okay, so I've got the item I wanted to test with. What'd you go with? Oh, another thing I like in favor of Diablo 3, town portals are just a cast timer. They're free and infinite. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'll take that. And that. Alright, so, let's see if I'm right. If I'm right, I'm gonna laugh. Oh my god, I'm right. Okay, I can't freaking believe that. So, I was in the middle of talking about how crafting is great, and how a lot of this new stuff is awesome, and it's pretty much always going to be nice stuff. The way crafting works is, you can see it right there. I can craft an axe. This is the base stats. 10 to 17 damage, 1.3 attacks per second. Right? Required level 13. However, it will have 4 random suffixes on it. Now, crafting gear will pretty much always go ahead and be specific to your class, which means it will have kind of a increase in probability to be good, is basically the best way I can put that. So that's nice, but I can't believe I never realized this. The thing that I was going to say is getting a hold of common debris is irritating, because finding... You know, I've got tons of exquisite essence. I've got tons of tears, but you know, I mean, you can see here, I got 100 of that, 500 of that. I only have 18 of that. You actually get common debris by disenchanting white gear, which means they've actually made white gear have a purpose in existing, which is awesome. I can't believe that. I can't believe they've actually made white gear have a purpose. That is so cool. Wow. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Sorry, that just hit me, and I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, by the way, Fitz got no offense, but I think I win when it comes to games I want that have been out since last year. Because there's a huge list. Like 7 3DS games, and Assassin's Creed 4, and Stick of Truth, which just came out. I don't even remember. The list is huge. There's a ton of games I want that are already out that I can't buy. I can't believe they did that. Anyways, right. Oh, hey. Oh, right, yes. Let's go ahead and clean that. Now, one thing they did that's kind of weird, but I understand why they did it. Here, I'll demonstrate it with my Crusader. Where is she? There she is. Pay no attention to the fact that most of these are female. It's just the fact that most of the Bastion is female, who are these kind of people. That is correct, Fitzcott. You can choose male or female, and you can choose any class you want to. And obviously, if you haven't been paying attention, I can switch at will. Now, I can't switch my gender. I'd have to re-roll to do that, but, you know, shrug. So... Here's the thing that's kind of cool. I'm on expert difficulty right now, which is pretty much my standard leveling difficulty. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and show off a couple other features really quick before I get to that. So, even if you're level 1, you can actually go ahead and change the difficulty to whatever you want. Normal is exactly what it sounds like. Hard is, you know, and it scales up. Hard, expert, and master. The difference between these 4 is pretty minute. In general, if you're crunching this difficulty, you'll be fine in this difficulty. But you'll have trouble with this difficulty. You could still do it, but you get my point, right? You know, if you're doing great here, you can manage here, but this would be too much for you. And it's basically a dependence on gear more than anything, because again, all the enemies scale to your level, so the level doesn't really matter. Now, each one of these difficulties has a bonus that comes to it. You see it right here. Being on hard gives you extra gold and exp. Being on expert gives you extra gold, exp, and it's a bonus to bounties, which I haven't even talked about yet. It's a new feature in Reaper. This one does more gold, more exp, bounties, and Imperial gems, which is another thing that's unique to Reaper. And of course, then there's Torment, which if you're on Torment, an entirely new loot table can actually drop, which includes unique legendary items, which are frickin' amazing. But Torment is hard. And there's Torment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Torment 6 is insane. My wizard can barely solo Torment 6. Just barely, and that's my main. And she had some pretty damn nice gear. So, now the thing I like about this is not only that you're rewarded for it, but you can change it completely on the fly. You know, if I feel like a challenge, I could say, and just crank it up. If I don't, I can crank it right back down. If I feel like getting some kind of a benefit, I could just do kind of a middle thing, you know? Now, so that's awesome. You can also set games to be private or public because, you know, duh, right? If you go to public, which we'll go and demonstrate here, you can kind of show off the different kind of game types you're doing. They're going to be adding more of those later. I always, of course, do that. Now, adventure mode is something you can't do until you've actually finished the game first, which is, again, a Reaper feature, so I can't actually show that off yet. Now, the other thing I wanted to show off, hang on, I'm on normal difficulty, right? Actually, I don't want to be on normal, I want to be on expert. There we go. Okay. Now, obviously you can just back out and change the difficulty, you know, like that, but if for whatever reason you want to change it on the fly, they have a morphic system in mind. Now, it can only go up and down 1. So, you can, it only goes up to expert 2. But I could literally just hit plunk, and bam, we're on hard difficulty, and plunk, and now we're on normal difficulty. Now, you can only change the difficulty a few times. That's actually kind of irritating as a solo player, but it's only a minor inconvenience. It's there because anyone can do that in a multiplayer game. So I could be running around and someone could be like, and crank the difficulty up on me without actually telling me, if you understand. But there's always going to be an indicative, of course. And the point is, being able to change it on the fly will change every enemy you're currently fighting literally instantaneously. You could be in the middle of fighting someone and change the difficulty up or down. And Shazam. It's mostly a convenience thing, because again, going back to here and changing this only takes a few seconds, as I am now demonstrating. Because... And there, we are now right back on expert difficulty. Forgive me if I sound like I'm gushing, but I really like this game and I love the convenience features. Note that I say convenience, not ease. Too many people confuse those words. There's a difference between a game not being irritating and being fun and enjoyable to play, and a game that's just, you know, pathetically easy. And yeah, what can I say, Kay? I've always been a wings person. Yeah, I know, Hylisk. But that's because of obvious reasons. Because Torment is different. It literally, the actual formulas behind Torment are different, which is why you can't do that. There we go. What else can I show off about this thing? Let me show off one other thing here really quick. Hang on, wrong thing. So, I'm just going to do something really quick to just do this here. There's Third. He's just over there in the menus. Well, if I feel like joining his party and just joining it... Well, okay, first of all, there's Quick Join, which you've probably seen this a few times over here. I literally just click this button and bam, I join one of my friends. This only shows up for friends or people you've grouped with recently. Of course, I have a few friends playing here right now, but, you know, shrug. If I don't feel like doing that, I could just hit this button right here, bamf, and invite him to my game, or he can hit it in return and invite him to me. In both directions, these are, it's pretty much instantaneous, and it's a really, really quick and easy way to group, which is why I'm mentioning it. In other words, grouping, especially with your friends, is incredibly quick and easy. You can just go one button and then you're there. And as with Diablo 2, the enemies will get harder just a bit. It's mostly a difference in health, actually. The amount to which they hurt more has been reduced significantly, which was a good change, by the way, because it was kind of bad before. But they will have more health, which makes sense, and a couple of more AI changes to them, but most importantly, they will drop better gear, which brings me to another thing I'd love to show off if Third is amenable. In fact, I'll just message him. Boop doop boop boo. Boop doop boop boop doo. Boop doop boop boo. Boop doop boo. Boo doo doo. Doo-ah. Doo. Doop doo-ah. Doo-ah. Oh, here we go. Okay. What did go away? Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and hop on my wizard here. Okay, so here I am.
This place reeks of dead. The fallen star must be near. Yes.
And bam, Third is already here, just like that. Now, here's the really awesome part. You see this buff? This is called Strength in Numbers. Increases your magic find, gold find, and experience for each nearby player. This was an awesome change. It gives you an actual reason to group up in multiplayer, which there really wasn't before, and it also really encourages multiplayer in general. And yes, by the way, if there was another player here, it would go up. So, example, if there's the full number of party or full 4 people here, this will be stacked to 3. Here, I'll go ahead and demonstrate. You have to go to about... Well, it's pretty much a little bit more off the screen than I'm willing to do at the moment. in order to lose the buff. So if I was to, like, here, I'll try to demonstrate the exact distance. Right about... Wow. It's a little further than I actually thought. Maybe they upped it. You'll notice I still have the buff, and he's over there. So you don't have to be on the screen as the guy, you just have to be within the same region as the guy. By the way, this is Torment 3 mob. That was just one dinky little zombie we just killed on Torment 3. In case you're wondering why that took so damn long. Also, I think I'm actually better geared than him. I could be wrong. My gear isn't great on my wizard. Now, I'm only standing here. I wanted to demonstrate how hard they hit me. That was one hit from a regular, normal zombie that took out like a fifth of my health. I'm just saying this to emphasize that Torment is hard. But it's alright. It doesn't actually bug me as weird as it sounds. They did a lot of things to make it so that CC and other... Well, just CC, really. All sorts of crowd control effects work a lot better on mobs than they did before. So it doesn't really bother me. Because you have plenty of options to make sure that you don't get hit now. Which is good. It encourages you to actually think about what you're doing rather than just nuke things. And hell, if you're on that difficulty to begin with, you're kind of expecting some things to hit hard. At least I would assume so. By the way, I have a specific setup for my Meteor which gives it a cooldown, but makes it hit really hard. I don't know if you saw, but that was actually a 600k smack there. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Trying to save third over here. Oh, I love this game, Fitscut. I mean that without question. I think I've changed my mind. I like this game better than Diablo 2. If people want to hate me for it, they can go ahead. I've always tried to be honest about my opinions. Not that Diablo 2 is a bad game at all. In fact, I still enjoy replaying that game from time to time. By the way, that's Hylisk. And you'll notice now we have 2 stacks of the buff because there's 3 of us here. Yeah, by the way, Hylisk has way better gear than either of us do, so our damage potential just kind of skyrocketed. I haven't actually geared up on my wizard because I've been pushing both my my Crusader and my my monk, or excuse me, my barbarian. I actually just hit 60 on my barbarian last night. I'm sorry, Lance. Please don't hate me. Please.
I will help you fight. There is I admire your courage. That will not be mine. Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're attacking the barricades.
What can I say, Mean Panda? I'm loving it. I gotta say, this is good timing, at least for me, because it's gonna be until December until Warlords of Draenor comes out. And this is a really fun, you know, multiplayer game to play with a lot of my friends who like, well, those kind of games. Of course, it won't last the whole distance, but, you know, it is kind of irritating the fact that Warlords won't come out until December, because, you know, all we've got right now is Siege. It's the whole Halion thing all over again. How long did we have to do that damn raid with no updates and no anything? Hello. How are you?
You're supposed to be taking a break. Wow.
I am taking a break.
This is not a break. This is still streaming.
Well, screw you.
You were supposed to get up out of your chair and stretch your body so that you'd stop complaining about being in pain.
See, she doesn't actually care about She doesn't actually care about me
I'm
being
not
in
going
pain.
to get
No, that's not
spaghetti.
the problem. It'll pick up sounds on anything that happens here really well, so I'm just going to try moving this somewhere else.
Just put it back down.
Damn. I am almost dead. My sister nearly killed me. Yeah, let's kill this so we can... Actually, let's just do this.
He was literally on the stream.
Yeah, he's right there. See? He's famous now. Anyways, Oh. Well.
I blew on it first.
Ah. Bragwin waves.
Hi, Bragwin. That's how this works, 7th. He's too busy playing the game to eat. If I didn't shove food down his throat, he wouldn't eat.
That's not true. I ate earlier.
Okay, let me rephrase it. He would have a singular bowl of cereal a day.
That's also not true.
Or a singular sandwich a day.
I should probably go buy some potions. I actually have none on my wizard. That's because I used them, by the way, in case you're wondering. So I know a lot of people asked, how do you heal in town? There's actually a guy, he's got the heart icon there. I just mentioned this because a lot of people didn't actually know that. So that's where you heal.
Found some interesting things on my latest issue.
I should have actually died just to show how death works now, because death has been changed too. Yeah, I think I will. Let's go ahead and show off death really quick. So, I'm just going to stand here. It won't take long. I'm on Torment 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. So, that little thing, any other player can click that, which will res me. Or, I can revive it. Or I can revive a corpse. You can only do that so many times. You have to progress past certain flags in the game in order to get back revive it corpse things. Revive it last checkpoint is always free, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You see, checkpoint gain throughout as you're playing through the game. Revive in town is also always free and is exactly what it sounds like. And of course, you lose 10% durability, which starts to get a little bit pricey. But otherwise, that's pretty much the only actual detriment.
Apparently, I need to take your spaghetti downstairs and run it through the blender.
I don't think I would like that, to be honest. This is what Revive It Corpse looks like, by the way. You have a few seconds, and then pwong. So you have a moment to prep yourself for the doom that is to come. Now I'm trying to save third.
No, you're not. You're killing something else that was in your way to get over to him.
Well, that's because it was already
Where
still...
is he?
He's right there. He's kiting really, really badly.
Where did Hylisk go?
He went back to WoW.
You meanie, Hylisk. You abandoned third.
Okay, I got this eventually. I didn't have a chance to buy potions either, so... So I'm probably about to die again. Because we bought a ranged for that. That'll be her. The one shooting little poison things at me. Is it sad that my slow is way better than his slow? The good news is slows stack. Oh, thank God. By the way, health orbs are AoE. I don't remember if that was always true or not, but one way or another, it's nice because it means if I pick up a health orb, I'm not stealing it from him. We both get the exact same amount of health. Well, I shouldn't say the exact same, because that's actually not true. There's actually a stat called health on orb or something like that, which literally increases the amount of health you get from orbs. It's pretty obvious when you think about it. What is it actually called? Health Globe Healing Bonus. So I have a 6,665 health globe, so I get an additional that much every time I heal. Otherwise... Ugh. See, what we're doing here is we're showing off their terrible gear so the entire stream can understand just how terrible it is. Everyone look and mock! No, I'm kidding. Let's go get him some better gear.
And Dexron, you're absolutely right. This particular spaghetti dish has broccoli in it. And beef.
Broccoli. Yep. Okay, that's kind of hurting my eyes.
What?
Whatever attack he's doing, that's blinking a lot. Yeah, that. Wow, I've never actually seen that. I don't actually group with hunters, like, at all. In fact, Third is the only demon hunter I know who's high level. Most of the guys I know are monks, witch hunters, or barbarians.
So why are you killing stuff out here?
Because it doesn't matter where I kill stuff, per se. Because everything is scaled to our level, and the amount of loot is determined on the level and the difficulty, so these will drop loot just as much as anything else will drop loot, other than, of course, boss monsters.
So why are you with the zombies? Go someplace that isn't zombies.
Alright, hang on, Third. We gotta go restart the game.
Why do you have to restart the game to get someplace that isn't zombies?
Because that's how it works. I'm basically going to New Game Plus myself forward. As soon as I kill these.
Yes, break one, you can have some.
No.
But you have to teleport yourself here.
What am I saying? She can totally have some. I'm cool with that.
I might have to make more.
No.
I need to go back. That's what that spell was called.
Yeah, I know. Hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and wait for him to leave the game. Do it, Third! Do it! Yeah. I'm not sure what he's doing.
What did he do?
There he goes. No, he's out. We're good. Okay, so we can fight things that will destroy us, or lots and lots and lots of demons, or worse.
Something that's not zombies.
Those are the options. Pick one.
I don't care. Something that's not okay, worse.
Okay. This is gonna suck. Oh crap, Bragman's trying to teleport. Don't teleport on me, Bragman. I have got like lots of breakable stuff around here. Whoops, wrong button. Alright, so, spoiler alert, this is Act 4. Hey look, it's the guy with my wings.
To face Diablo again. Your wounds are barely healed. The heavens burn. This is your fault.
Yes, that's Metzen, by the way, I think.
Look below and see what your kind has wrought.
Shut up, Imperious. God, you're an idiot sometimes. And then it's gone.
It's right there.
It's gone forever.
It's right there. Just pick it up with your fingers. Here, eat.
Wow. Ah, ooh, that's not a bad idea, actually.
What?
There we go. How's this sound, guys? Yeah, shut up, Cheerio. Shut up. Alright, this is kind of a tough boss fight. I'm probably going to get Third killed here.
Sorry, Third.
Probably going to get me killed, too.
Sorry, brother.
I'm going to get my sister killed. We'll find out in a moment, though.
That's a boss.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of looks like heaven's already been corrupted.
Yep. We got here a little late. This just happened, story-wise. I strongly recommend spreading out Third, because these are going to really just gang up on us otherwise. Crap. Okay, there we go. Good. Alright.
What the hell are those?
Shadows.
They're gross.
Not the shadows. They're just shadows. Not to be confused. Something from my setting. Oh, God. Trading all the things.
Into the blizzard! I missed one.
Really low on resources here.
You forgot to get potions.
Your grave awaits.
I don't need no stinking potions. Except I do, and I'm probably about to die. Oh crap, he's actually engaged the boss.
Snarg!
It's okay, he'll just die. Okay, where is he? Here he is. I need to recoup for a minute so I'm gonna clear up trash.
No, you're not. You're gonna aggro.
I'm gonna aggro the boss. And then clear up trash. Good thing we're only on Torment 3. Torment 6 would have probably one-shot both of us.
Ooh. That was. You should turn it to Torment 6.
No, I've done that. I can barely solo Torment 6 if I'm really careful.
Hey, that's a. You're dead.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I also have aggro for some freaking reason, which is bad because I'm the one who can hit hard. So third is over there doing little damage while I have aggro.
You don't have a tank.
Well, tanks don't really exist. I guess they do now, because there's a brand new class which is basically a tank. Here, do some damage for me, Hydra. Good news is this boss doesn't do much. Believe it or not. He just does the lava pool things. Where'd he go? Where he is? See if I can get one big hit on him. There we go. Alright, I moved his HP. Third. Yes, he aggroed third. Okay, now to do some damage.
Run, third, run! It starts like blinking.
Well, yeah. Like I said earlier, demon hunters have a lot of utility in moving, dodging, that kind of thing.
He's on you again.
Damn it. Yeah, there's no real aggro in any sense of the word, by the way, so, in case you're wondering.
Stop standing and shit under your feet.
It spawns on me, so there's not too much I can do.
So don't stop moving.
That's impossible. I have to pause for about a second to cast.
Recast your lightning buggies, those.
Flame hydras?
Yeah!
Ah, you got me.
Bye, Snarg!
No, it's okay, because third can't kite, so yeah, third's dead. Third is super dead.
Res me! Click!
Oh no, he can't kite. He can't slow him like I can, so so he's dead. Because it takes him like 3 seconds to res me.
Oh god!
So you see the problem here.
You need 3 people.
Yeah. Quick, Bragwin, save us!
Bragwin! He's not dead yet.
Hey, Doran. Yeah, if he actually beats us, it's going to take him like 10 minutes. He does so little damage, and that guy's a crap ton of health.
He's...
Except...
Oh, now he's mad at you.
Good.
Instantly.
I'm good with that right now. Crap, I missed. In case you're wondering why I'm hitting him periodically, I have a setup where all my fire attacks leave a dot, and I kind of want to maintain that as much as I can. And of course, whenever they're slowed, like by the blizzard, they actually are imperiled, aka they take more damage. Ah, crap.
Run into fire.
I blame Third.
Third, stop dropping fire in front of him.
What actually happened was I was trying to get away from Third so those pools wouldn't be near each other, and then I was trying
Third
to...
ran the same way?
Basically, yeah. And of course, I clicked his hitbox, the boss's hitbox, rather than the ground.
Breakwin's teleportation spell is still loading.
Damn it,
She's
Breakwin.
having a hard time loading the textures over here.
That doesn't surprise me. They're pretty intense. Got him. Every time I get the big hit off, it's good, because that probably does more damage than I do in like 50 seconds. Well, probably like 20 seconds. Fire, fire. Come again.
Will he can't be damaged by running through his own... Where'd he go?
He activated phase 2.
Ah. Will he be damaged by running through his own thingy?
No, he will not, unfortunately. We need to kill these fast, because he won't come back when they're dead, he'll come back on a timer, so... Yeah, you can see the problem already. Welcome back. It's got
Kiting!
Kiting everything and the boss. Crap.
What'd you just do?
I cast the blizzard in front of me and then ran through it, so I could kite them. So you kind of like that.
Well, no, I meant, what did you do? You shot something flamey at...
Ah, yeah, there was no avoiding that. He went
Alright,
around
Snarg!
anyway. You got this,
Again!
Third.
You earned the achievement, bleed, you filth!
That's gotta be a class one. I can't even look at it.
Why not?
Because I'm dead.
Oh. Well, that's stupid. You should be able to click stuff while you're dead.
I agree.
Live, Third!
Die, Third! Oh, he's dead. He's totally dead.
Yeah, he is. He's got so many mobs. And the boss. Look at him!
You got this, man. Remember, pressure's on. We're live on the stream here.
He's still alive. I have to admit, he's tenacious. He's having one of those moments like I used to have when we were healing on a wipe. And you would be like, just fuck it, just heal me, just don't listen to anybody else, just heal me. And I'd be like, heal, heal, heal. And it'd just be you and me. And it would so clearly be a wipe. And I'd just be like, heal, heal. I'm You're
Yep.
Those were fun times.
Speaking of which, I think Third is on the verge of death here soon.
If he would just give up, he would die all that much faster. Oh god, he's the boss is rezzing more of those things.
Yep. It's okay, Third's dead.
So, are you capable of doing these with two people?
With two? Probably not.
Hi! I hope she's feeling better. Snargle told me she had the flu.
I hope so too. What the hell? Nobody says hi to me. I see how it is. Who sells the potions here?
Not you.
Mom, where did Leah go?
She's dead.
Don't be warriors. Someone needs to sell the equipment.
Just checking the dies. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, you can shift click and buy them in stacks of 5. Which is kind of nice.
What else can you buy?
Stuff that is crap.
Oh. So bigger items take up more space in your inventory?
Well, yeah, basically, like this takes up 3 slots there. Or, excuse me, 2 slots. This takes up 1 slot, etc. In Diablo 2, it was worse. There were like 6 slots and 9 slot items, but that's basically gone. It's all...
What's the book that's shiny?
So you identify stuff.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the guy that has the diamond... No. What's the guy that has the diamond on his head?
You mean Covetous Shen?
Apparently.
That's where you do gem stuff. See? Gem stuff. Oh, hey. Go ahead and make a few of these while we're at it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Pneumonia. Mrs. Guido has pneumonia.
That really sucks.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience. Okay. So what we're going to do is going to lower the difficulty to Torment 2.
No, you should raise the
and
difficulty.
lower it again to Torment 1.
You
Torment
should raise
1.
the difficulty so I can see.
No. Because you know exactly how that would work.
But...
Hey! Okay, we're dead.
It would
That's
be
Torment
funny!
6 with another player.
It would be funny!
Alright, Third. Try this again.
Slightly less tormented. You have to wait 59 seconds.
You have to wait for people to actually hit yes, we're ready to go.
Oh.
You got it, Goleth. I will not let her put it in a blender. Yeah, we just saw this.
Don't care.
You can probably tell the difference immediately.
You're not running.
Nope. You notice they're also dying. This is the difference between Torment 1 and Torment 3. Like I said, the difference between all the difficulties in from normal up to master are pretty minute, but once you get into the Torment levels, those differences go just through the roof. Every single point of Torment increases the difficulty. Pretty much the same difference between normal and expert. There we go. God damn it, looking around, dick.
That thing.
You notice we've also already done as much damage to him as we did last time, percentage-wise. Yeah, I do too.
That thing.
Java.
What was that spell?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually see that.
The one that you shoot the giant flaming meteor that just kind of goes in a straight line out past you.
That's actually a proc, believe it or not.
Oh.
Every third, I believe, spell does that. It's an arcane order. Fourth, maybe? Fifth? Fifth, yeah, it's fifth. Yeah. Oh, right, phase 2. But yeah, I really like the whole demo thing that they did with several of the games. StarCraft, the original StarCraft, StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, and WoW all have pretty good starter/demo versions, at least in my opinion. I'll wait till third's a little bit closer to pick this up. There it is. There we go. There we go. Now he's at half, as you can see. I still don't want the boss to hit me. It's easier, but not easy. Start doing a few things here.
Does it have easy mode?
Of course it does. If I turned this to normal, I'd probably 3-shot him.
Oh.
But A, that's not quite as fun, and B, you get way worse loot
So did you get more content with this expansion?
Yes, I just haven't done it yet. Because PAX isn't on yet. Not only if you want to play it with me, but yes, it's an expansion, so it would be rather discourteous not to wait for it. Come on, me, I'm just killing lots and lots of trash, apparently. It's just my duty, trash duty. Crap. We're in phase 3 now, by the way. Sorry. If you hit a hitbox rather than the ground, you attack rather than run. That can be irritating when you're trying to run.
Why are the holes in the ground suddenly looking like lava?
It's an announcement that he just faded and he's about to send in even more stuff, as you can see here. Come on, homie. Oh. Okay, this is actually really annoying. There we go.
What?
He dragged a lot of stuff over here. I guess I can't blame him. I'm kind of the AoE guy here. Damn it, he teleported. You can do it, Joven. I swears. And then you can play it and just hate it, and that'll be great. Just like you played WoW and hated it. Let me move, let me move, let me move, let me move! don't know if you saw that, but I was actually standing in some lava there, and it wasn't letting me move because there were so many enemies on the screen I couldn't find ground to click on. There's actually a control to make it so you can just move, regardless of if there's an enemy on your thing or not. I have not bound that yet because it rebound everything when the expansion came out, so I don't know what it is. Massacre, 565 monsters killed. So tell me at least some of that loot is good for you, Third. Oh, that's probably good loot for me. I'm wrong, of course, because I have really good loot, apparently. Well, good loot, not really good loot. But whatever. That's worth gold. I got some gold. Hey. Awesome. Because that was actually the whole reason I was doing this, was to get you some upgrades. Apparently we probably shouldn't be doing Torment 1, though.
Why?
Because that took forever.
I am returning to town.
So that's Torment difficulty, ladies and gentlemen. On something that is not a zombie, per my sister's request.
Don't like zombies.
Now to go fight zombies! I'm kidding, of course. Although there are a lot of dead in this game, most of them aren't zombies, which is kind of cool, actually. Then again, there is also worse than zombies, so shrug. In actual fact, people who know me... Yeah, that's correct, Guido. It's actually a system I really like, personally. It makes it a lot easier, gameplay-wise and on the server, and it also makes sure that they can use a different loot code, because that way he will always see loot that's either good for him or at least usable for him, and vice versa in my case. I shouldn't say always, it's more like 80% of the time. Or excuse me, 60%, 60%. Anyways, so yeah, one thing I do have to admit about this game, it gets really gross sometimes with the gore factor, and I'm not a fan of gore. So admittedly, there are sections of this game I just kind of have to mentally not pay attention to what I'm doing and just focus on the gameplay. I don't know if that's a downside or an upside for you, I just thought I'd mention it. Like,
I'm here!
And he's gone! Like when you fight the, oh, what's his name? What's his name? What was his name? Bestiary.
Eat more spaghetti.
Okay, thank you. Gom! Yeah, so, like fighting Gom, that was, gross. Although it was kind of terrifying in a very subtle way, and if you're wondering why, well, I'll just play the voice sample, and you can hear for yourself.
Are panicking now? Oh, they must have noticed that fresh meat only comes after one of their number is dragged away, screaming. This will not hold. Slaughter the ones who starve themselves and feed them to their hungry friends. When those ones are fully stuffed, I will be ready to die.
Yeah. Some of the logs in this game aren't quite as horrifying as, say, System Shock or Bioshock or System Shock 2 or Bioshock 2. But yeah, there's some pretty bad ones in that same vein. And now to enjoy some yummy spaghetti. That's a horrifyingly difficult fight, by the way. I actually am scared to fight Gom on Torment. That's just a brutal fight. It's kind of a DPS race, too, because if you take too long, he'll fill the entire area with the fog, and then you'll die. Anyways. I release you, Third. Be free.
At least then we would have been home with our families when the end came.
Our end is not yet written. Stand and fight, and you might return to your family as a hero.
Oh, by the way, this is when I mentioned this earlier when all the NPCs say something different. This is when hope is gone from the world. And it's only for like these 2 quests. It's actually really cool. Because they all talk, you know, as if hope is gone, because she is.
If I had known what that cow Adria was up to, I would have slit her throat. Magic or no.
She will not live long.
Well, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and...
My ally has left. The enemies I face will be weaker now.
Yeah, by the way, it happens instantaneously, that whole thing. Notice Third's actually still in my party, he just wasn't in my game, which is kind of cool. We'll go ahead and leave the party here. So he is freed! Oh, stretch. Let's go ahead and switch back to my Crusader. Yes, hope is gone. I murdered him. I strangled him to death. And now the world is a better place for it. Oh yeah, by the way, Fitzcott, are you still there? I don't see him on chat. He might have left. Oh well. I was just gonna show off a few things. This is the default appearance. You know, female barbarian, male crusader, female crusader, etc., etc. I think Crispin Freeman does the male demon hunter. I could be wrong. It's a fairly big name. I forget who it is exactly. Maybe he does the male wizard. I forget. But I just wanted to show off that the male crusader is actually voiced by. Oh gosh, I was just saying this. The guy who did Balthier back in FF12. God, what? Gideon Emery. That's it. Gideon Emery does the male. Okay.
At 12, I swore the oath, leaving home and family. At 16, I saw my master die. I took up his shield and his name, and on that day, I became a crusader. Armored by faith, driven by duty, bound to kill the enemies of Zakarum. Sworn to live as a crusader and to die as one. Now, corruption returns to the hearts of men. I see it in the eyes of the mad. Hear it in the howling of the damned. A falling star in the west leads me to the town of New Tristram. The crusade calls me, and so I go.
That's all. I just wanted to show off the voice. They picked some really good voice actors for a lot of these roles. Excuse me. And now we delete Gideon, because he's really kind of irrelevant. I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming to go ahead and eat. I may be streaming later if PAX hops on. No promises, but either way, I guess I'll talk to you guys later.